All right, so today we're going to be looking at simplifying parts and assemblies. Sometimes you get assemblies with a lot of extra parts and details you don't really need. And in this particular case, I went into the simulation environment and whoa, my whole model was gone. This does happen. We use simplification routines, and somebody was in here before, so I create a new one right now. I can create a new simulation model, which allows me to remove parts or details that I don't need. Somebody had done that before, so I needed to make my own. There are no limits on the number of simplification models you can have for your simulation. So, you know, you may be doing all kinds of different things. This does take a while. As you can see, it's a big process. We had to load up the whole file. And once we're in there, we can then begin deleting parts, even features and faces that we don't need. I could certainly go in and select individual parts and use the remove command. That wouldn't be a problem. I could certainly do it, but it would be tedious. And in this particular case, I want to show you something. A lot of people don't know we have this. We have different selection criteria. One of them is selection by size. And so I can go in here and use these sliders, and I selected just about all the parts because what I really want is just one half of this plastic injection molded part on the outside. So I picked the three largest parts. To be honest, I didn't know what the third part was, so I then hid one side of the handle, and there's a surface under there that was originally used for modeling this part. So I just selected that, and I should be able to delete that later. But, you know, by selecting by size, I could then right mouse button, and I use the command remove all but selected. So you can see down there on the timeline, a bunch of those parts that I had selected by size are now being removed. It's quite a number of them, so it does take a little while to do. And usually, if you do this well, there'll only be a few other parts that you have to go get. So in this case, I went back and turned on one of those parts, turned on all those parts to see what I had left. So I got rid of this one by not removing it. I just hid it at first. And then I saw that surface up underneath there. So then I removed that. And because I didn't want to just hide the one part, I actually wanted to physically remove it. I went back and showed all bodies. That's a command underneath the simulation model. And then I went and selected that one half that I didn't need anymore and removed it as well. Now, this is already a lot less complicated than what I had before, obviously. But I still have all these extra screw grommets in there. So I need to get rid of those. And you could go in and do selection by face, and then select faces, and as I'm doing here, and then press the delete key. Fusion has a really powerful healing function, and it almost healed it correctly. It left a little hole in the backside of that, which is easily corrected by then selecting that interface and then deleting that as well. Now, I could do that for all of these, and sometimes that's what you're going to have to do, but it's tedious. And there is the command to remove features. And this will allow you to remove specific features, that's in the checklist down at the bottom, and also choose the size of those features using the slider. Now you'll notice here that it selects all of those. If I place the slider, it sort of at the largest size, but it does get a few extras that I don't want. It recognizes those two round areas as fillets, and I don't want those, so I can manually deselect those. That's an option as well. And then I can just press the delete button right there. And after a couple of seconds of work in there, it'll get rid of all these in one fell swoop, and you got something that's quite a bit simpler than what you had before. Now, the best part about this is I can go up and set my simulation up just as I would normally. It's no problem. But if I go back into the design area, you'll notice that it hasn't changed a single thing. Now, that is really good. Now, I do hope that helped you, and I do wish you good luck with Fusion 360. Have a good day.